Just after 10 a.m. here in Sin City, that means it is early for Vegas, but it's never too early to get the party started in this town as we welcome you to the Players Era presented by Geico on TNT. And we got a fun little matchup for you, little pre-Thanksgiving appetizer. Number 15, Iowa State, taking on a Syracuse team that is already making some noise this early part of the season. And with that, it's gotten off to a really impressive start. A Syracuse team that arrived here in Vegas, perfect 4-0.
Its first two possessions for Syracuse, unforced turnover and a contested tough shot.
Here's Blake Buchanan, top of the circle. This is an Iowa State team, a beautiful backdoor into the rim, and what a recovery is.
Play great defense. You can't allow them to load to the basketball. That's been the case here early on.
Excellent movement. This is Sadiq White.
And screening. That was a perfect example of it from the offense of Syracuse on that possession.
Boy, nice little extension to the rack.
Without him in the last game and then losing late in that St. John's game, but his talent is immense. But the depth of this team really impressive as well. That's a great job with the depth and brevity of the talent that's been on display here in Las Vegas.
Anthony dials it up from deep.
You can see him saying.
Working against George, and another Cyclones turnover. Here comes Starling to the cup.
They've been very active with deflections, and they've held Iowa State here. No field goals until that one for the last 4 minutes or so.
Analyzing ability, the potential, as he tries to put it all together in his 7th game as a collegiate. Little pick and roll bounce, nicely set up. Jefferson dropping a dime. Betsy, quiet so far. Shot clock at 5. They're going to pull up on a 3. That's good. Fennell buries one. Orange bench wanted a violation. Here comes Torre to the rack, and he's headed to the free throw line. In. Jefferson's going to pull. We're playing with all kinds of emotion this week in front of his family. Look at that pass.
But they'll figure it out. It does. Like when it is a huge transition to go from high school to playing against grown men, and that's what Iowa State has. And Torre.
And this is the Syracuse team, GA, that we've seen so far. Anthony, boy, quick first step. Lays it up and in.
And now coaches want the ball to move. You don't want 5 sets of eyes to be able to load in on the basketball. That is where you are going to struggle as an offense.
In his first basket underneath, a guy who's had a little bit more opportunity with the injury to Lipsy, and he's taking full advantage. Torre to the break, and the hammer.
Player is also out today, but you know what I love about it is nothing changes. Is they don't differentiate how they play based on who's in the game.
Having straight for the Cyclones. Another Syracuse turnover. Payta, Euro step into the rack.
Worry about rotations or the ball movement, and that's just a hard way to play offense.
Boy, 4 turnovers in the last 90 seconds. Torre. So how does Syracuse handle some adversity here? They've had the turnover issues.
They got to move the ball. There's an example. That's a heck of a shot to knock down, but
good ball movement this time. Kings lays the layup from deep.
That's a terrific job. Iowa State getting into a little bit of a funk offensively as well, not moving the basketball, playing a little bit too much hero ball.
Betsy, and we are tied.
Earlier in this half.
Offensive rebound by Jefferson. Momcilovic, top shot, flicks it up and in. Using all that length. Who can they turn to for consistent offense? Buchanan.
Yeah, and that was an example of where they just held.
Syracuse going to slow down the pace here with Starling. Getting into their half-court set. Shot clock at 10. Betsy lets it fly. And Kansas.
Reed to shoot that 3, and that's how you have to play. If they're going to extend and trap that pick and roll, move the basketball. And Momcilovic comes right back at you and knocks down that triple. High level, consistently. Basketball is about creating great shot quality. As an example there. And, you know, and then we talked about it. You saw how they extended on that pick.
Now putting one together here, building their lead back up to 4. George, shot clock at 6. Just all ISO ball for the Orange. Starling elevates and hits. The challenges of this schedule, both played the last 2 days, so 3 games in 3 days. As Buchanan rolls to the basket, those two can transition. And we asked Otzelberger about this tough 10 a.m. start. As they get some nice movement to the basket, that's Nate Kings.
With force on the floor, which oftentimes when you don't know what your role is going to be from an offensive standpoint, just play with passion.
Momcilovic. 10 already committed as we play early second half. Jefferson off balance and a chance at 3.
That was play with a little bit more pace on your offense in terms of the execution. Don't let the ball stay.
Jefferson off the steal and a hammer dunk. Iowa State second half. And Iowa State team looking to stay perfect. 6-0 start to the season. Beautiful drive to the cup.
And Iowa State really starting to extend that offense of Syracuse.
Here's Jefferson. What a pass. Wrap around. Drop it. Quiet to this point. Need something from him here down the stretch. Torrey. Corner pocket 3. The Cyclones team can heat up quickly.
Critical stretch here. Remember, Syracuse was having struggles like this against Houston, able to come back late in that second half and force it to overtime, but they've got to figure out a way to get going offensively.
Momcilovic. Starling on the attack, and again, just not valuing the basketball. Way too many turnovers for the Orange. Jefferson.
But they've got to come up with some sets, and there they go, just getting extended.
Momcilovic with a jackhammer.
With working with DeAndre Jordan before and after practice, before games, to get his form right. Now, it was never perfect, but he certainly did help DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can't get that thing straightened out. Nice little drive and finish. Sadiq White Jr.
Just do a great job of moving the basketball. They play with tremendous force, and it just creates a lot of opportunities, as you see there, for the layup.
On the 12-minute mark, Syracuse team that has been so resilient here in Vegas. What kind of push, what kind of gas that they have left in the tank here down the stretch. Starling taking flight, and a stick back. Anthony.
Probably not equipped to deal without having Freeman on the floor.
Fisher's going to call a goaltend here, so Nelson suddenly becoming a factor. Starling resets to Anthony. Trying to create his own shot against Nelson. All kinds of foot speed there. Nelson smothering defense. Here he comes, little body bump to the rack. So Betsy now still struggling from deep. 2 of 8 from the three-point line. Open look at a corner 3 that won't go from Bateman. And a put it outside Fennell. Shot clock resets. There's a steal. Nelson again. 2-on-1 run out. Torrey back to Nelson. Just masterful. 19-1 in conference play with the Cougars last year, which is just amazing when you think about it. Obviously, the Jayhawks always contend.
A little bit how good they've been and locked in defensively.
There's play tempo just so under control. Beautiful fake. And their incredible offensive second half continues. A 14-1 Cyclones run. Kyle venting some frustration.
You need more of that if you're Syracuse.
First Orange basket in almost 4.5 minutes. Momcilovic. A couple of days of hoops in Las Vegas. Momcilovic. This is unbelievable.
We've seen some really great stretches of basketball here this week, but I don't know if it's been any more impressive than what we've seen here.
As we cross the 6-minute mark, Jefferson to the middle of the paint. And a putback by Buchanan.
Been as well, and we mentioned it ad nauseum defensively, how good they are.
Kyle, nice little drop-off pass underneath, gets it to White. Incredible 47% three-point shooter early part of the season. And he is going to be a major factor yet again for TJ Otzelberger. Take away Jefferson. Here's Starling taking Nelson into the paint, and he goes glass. And just consider what the ceiling is for this Iowa State team this season, as they will get to 7-0 on the young season. This early part of the season. And it's Betsy on a turnaround. So final 90 seconds. This is Bateman, and he lets it fly. Final 30 seconds. So the Iowa State Cyclones are going to improve to 7-0 on the season. And this powerhouse that TJ Otzelberger is putting together, looking fierce at the start of the season. Into the corner, that's a three. Lobel, only walk-on member on this year's Cuse team. As the final seconds are going to come off the clock. Syracuse, really an impressive run the first two games. Not going to end the way they wanted, but a lot to build on as Iowa State, again, just incredible performance.
Yeah, no shame in losing to arguably one of the best teams in America. Syracuse will get better, but how about that second half? 60-30.